Before I even start this one, I need you to stick around to the end for an incredible fact that totally blows my mind. This story, like so many others, starts on Christmas because why not? On December 25th, 1944, an American Army unit sat down for a humble dinner with the villagers of Somma-Colonia, Italy. What they didn't know was, for some of them, that meal would be their last. Somma-Colonia was a hotly contested hilltop village, and the Germans weren't done fighting in Italy. That night, dressed as civilians, German troops snuck into the town and waited for the signal. And around 4 a.m. on December 26th, they attacked. Heavy artillery and mortar fire rained down as Germans' 4th Division, alongside Italian fascists, converged on the American forces. Operation Winter Get Wetter was underway. The 70 Americans woke to the attack, and by the time they rallied together, the city was invaded, and it wasn't even 6 a.m. It was a one-sided fight, and the Americans were ordered to withdraw. But a small group of Americans stayed back to call in artillery and try and slow the German advance. And one of those Americans is First Lieutenant John Fox. Fox, a forward observer with the 92nd Infantry Division, climbed to the second floor of a stone house, perfect line of sight, but zero chance of escape. And from there, he started calling precise artillery fire on the enemy. His work gave the Americans and Italian civilians a chance to escape certain death. He also provided the only good real-time intelligence anyone could get. He reported, "The Germans were now in the streets and attacking in strength." As the enemy closed in, Fox kept adjusting fire closer and closer. Eventually, the rounds were landing within 100 yards of his own position. Then, after ordering his last enlisted men to fall back, he made this call: "Bring it in 60 yards." The gunners called back, "Fox, we can't do that, that's right on top of you." And Fox replied, "Fire it. There's more of them than there are of us. Give them hell." When he called in that strike, Fox knowingly sacrificed himself to save others, bringing artillery right on top of the German forces, taking out 100 German soldiers and halting their attack in place. Somma-Colonia fell that day, but Fox's sacrifice shattered the enemy momentum. A week later, the Allied forces took the village back. When they did, they found John Fox's body in the rubble, still in that house, right where he made his last call. And 50 years later, he was posthumously awarded the Medal of Honor. But long before that, the people of Somma-Colonia built a monument to honor the man who gave his life to save theirs. And now here's that mind-blowing fact. Vernon Baker, who I have a video about on the channel, was in the rear that day and witnessed Fox's actions firsthand. And only a couple months later, when Baker led the charge up Castle Agonalfi, he wasn't just storming a Nazi stronghold, he was answering Fox's final transmission with gunfire, grit, and the fighting spirit of the Buffalo Soldiers. And he gave him hell. And that's why John Fox is America's most legendary forward observer.